Hi, everybody. Before the show starts, I wanted to once again let you know that Corey's debut novel, Back to the Hunt, is available for pre-order at 5310publishing.com. You can click in the link below to go there and pre-order that. Hardcover, paperback, ebook, whatever you want. It would help Corey out, and it's a great book. I've already read it early. Got the early read, folks. So if you're into military sci-fi thrillers, check out Corey's book, click the link, and pre-order today. The book release date is in March of 2023. Now, back to the show. Welcome to Kiss the Reviews. I'm Armando. That's Corey. And today we're doing 1994's Léon, the Professional. Before we get started, if you want to follow me or Corey on Twitter, you could follow me at Junior D's. You could follow Corey at Corey_idol. And if you want to follow the show, you could follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Kiss the Reviews. So let's get into this. We'll start with the cast of The Professional. This film stars Jean Reno as Leon or Léon, Natalie Portman as Matilda, Danny Aiello from Papa Don't Preach fame as Tony, and Gary Oldman as Stansfield.
Why you gotta do Danny Aiello like that?
Danny Aiello is my guy.
He's awesome. You're breaking his balls already.
What are you fucking breaking my balls for?
We could destroy Danny Aiello based on this character alone. We don't need to go all the way back to Papa Don't Preach.
One thing's got nothing to do with the other.
It's been a long time since I saw this. I literally only remember Natalie Portman, Jean Reno, and that's really it. I kind of remember the plot vaguely, but
I could not forget Gary Oldman's character in this after I saw it one time. He is amazing. He's up there with like Al Pacino in Heat as far as like, I'm a drugged up cop. Everyone! He is captivating. And he's such a weird cliche bad guy. Because he's like, oh, do you like Beethoven? I love Beethoven. Oh, you're a Mozart guy. It's just like all these weird little, like I listen to classical music. And like the drugs. And, just everything he did here would be hilarious if it were literally any other actor than Gary Oldman.
Yeah, and he had this very, like, I don't know if he's related to the Wahlbergs, but he had a very coked out Wahlberg look to him. With that said, let's get into the show. So this film opens in New York City. Leon is meeting with Tony, the local mob boss, and Leon is this hitman. Tony's asking him to whack a dude for him. Leon says he's free and he'll kill the fat man. We cut to the building where Leon shows up, kills all of the fat dude's bodyguards, enters his room, and after making a phone call, lets the dude go.
What I like about this scene immediately is it's setting up Leon as a different kind of hitman. He's not going to kick in the door and pew, 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 and make like marine rolls all over the floor and like do MMA style ground and pound and shoot. Like this isn't John Wick kind of hitman. This guy is very strategic. He doesn't want to be seen. He doesn't want to have any kind of action coming his way. He's not an action junkie. He's there to do a fucking job, and he's there to do it the most efficient way possible.
Yes.
And I loved it. Plus, I think he's doing it to OSHA standards, the way he protects himself, which is very important.
On his way back after this hit, he runs into Matilda. She's the 12-year-old neighbor kid, and he catches her smoking. He sees that she has a black eye. She's obviously been beaten up by her dad. We then see her dad, the gigantic piece of shit, being harassed by some dudes about cutting the cocaine they stored in his apartment. Leon sees this whole interaction from his peephole in his door. And this is what I love. And let me just get this out of the way. I understand. I'm going to be calling him Leon the entire time because I don't feel like calling him Léon. So Leon and I are very similar, where if I were to live in an apartment complex, especially at the end of the hall like he does, the only thing I don't do is talk to the kid. I make zero eye contact with anybody. I'm in my apartment. And anytime there's anything going on in the hallway, I'm taking the little thing out and I'm just staring through the peephole. That's me. I identify with him in this movie just for that simple fact.
Well, in that case, then I'm going to go ahead and identify more with the parents of Matilda here. And I'm going to give this warning.
Corey's life lessons.
Hi, drug mules. Uncle Corey here. Don't be greedy fucks, especially when the guy you're muling for is a cop.
Yes.
You lose in every situation there. Just don't be greedy. Just, if they give you pure shit, you give them back pure shit. End of the fucking day. 10%. You got killed and you got your whole family killed to cut 10% out of that fucking bag?
Yep.
Come on, man. That's just crazy. Don't do that shit.
Yeah. No,
that's ridiculous.
No, that's absolutely ridiculous. After this, we also see Leon taking care of his plant in his shitty apartment with like no furniture. He doesn't have sheets for the bed. And then he goes to sleep in a ratty chair while wearing his sunglasses in the dark.
Yeah, he sleeps like my grandmother does. Like she sleeps in a chair now. Usually with like the transition glasses on, but she has the TV on, so they've got like the sunglass part on. It's crazy.
He sleeps like I do on a Sunday afternoon watching football. Like that's just in the dark with the TV on. But I typically don't call that sleep. I just call that passing out. So
yeah, I was going to say there's a difference between nursing a hangover and going to sleep.
So the next day, we see Matilda's awesomely dysfunctional family up close and live. After doing his little Rocky Balboa I don't use weights workout, Leon goes to see a movie, and then he runs into Matilda on his way back to his apartment.
We got to give this warning, for God's sakes.
Corey's life lessons.
Hi, workouters. I don't know what you call them, because I don't do that shit. Uncle Corey here. If you watch this and you're like, yeah, down home, I'm going to strap fucking luggage things to my bed and do sit, you'll die.
Yes.
Hanging upside down, because what he's doing is not as easy as he's making it look. That is extraordinarily difficult. So if your big idea is to get in shape that way, you're going to die.
You're gonna at least lose both of your legs because you tied the shit too tight and it cut off the blood supply to your feet.
Exactly. You're gonna be walking around looking like you got diabetes.
So, you got diabetes.
So when Leon runs into Matilda here, this time she's got a bloody nose from another beating. She runs off to the store to get Leon some milk because he loves milk.
Here's the thing.
It's so gross.
That's gross. If all you literally, like, everybody likes to be in shape and health. That's not healthy.
No.
Drinking nothing but milk will literally kill you. Much like you trying to work out at home. This is not a good idea by him. Not to mention, his breath has got to be dog shit.
We talk about smells all the time on this show. And you're 100% right. His breath has got to be rank as... I mean, he is French to start. And now you're fucking pouring milk on top of that. That's
Dude,
awful.
There's a scene where he goes to the movie theater. And he's watching this old-time musical, right?
Yep.
He's watching it in wonder with his mouth wide open. And he turns around and the theater is empty. That bitch was sold the fuck out until he started breathing through his mouth. That's how nasty that fucking milk breath is.
Is it possible this story is true? Yes, it is.
Not to mention, all we see of Leon's diet is milk and a jar of, like, generic spaghetti sauce sitting on the table.
Yeah, you got to refrigerate that shit, by the way.
Dude, that whole apartment smells awful.
His apartment smells like feet. That's all that I can describe.
It smells like the airport in Expendables 2.
So while Matilda's at the store, we see the dudes from earlier come back into the apartment building. They raid Matilda's apartment and they kill her entire family, all the way down to her younger brother. And Matilda then gets back from the store, and Leon sees her walking down the hall because Leon's doing his like creep watch down the hallway just to see what's going on. And she smartly walks right past her own apartment, right to Leon's place, knocks on the door, and Leon waits a beat here because, again, like me, he's like, man, he's got a very, I know, like, French and things, but he's also got a very New York attitude. Like, I don't know if I want to bring this, whatever situation's happening here. I'm literally actively listening to murders happen. I don't know that I want to bring this on myself. I'll be saving this 12-year-old girl, but also now I'm bringing shit on me.
Yeah, so, it comes with the cost.
Yeah, so he waits.
This is
beat,
like I
then
pulled
lets
her out
her
of the wreck, and
yeah,
look at me. I'm in the local newspaper in Des Moines.
Yes,
this is some real life New York City shit. And speaking of that, Matilda, you can tell with her walking past her house and going to Leon's place.
Yeah,
that is the most city thing. Like, that is city 100%. Intelligence above anything else.
You were right.
Yeah, she walks by that door like I would walk by the fucking white Rastafarian if I saw him in real life.
Okay, you brought it up. Can we talk about Rastafari Brad? Like, what the fucking fuck?
Rastafarianism!
You know he's rocking that fucking Tough Gong CD in his car on the way home, though.
Oh, he is jamming to some Bob Marley and just enjoying his life, thinking he is Michael Bolton in Office Space. Like, he's Rastafari until some dude is selling flowers on the street in Manhattan, and then he just kind of locks his door and slinks down in his chair.
After looking at a family photo in this apartment, the thugs realized that Matilda was not in the apartment. They find the drugs that they were looking for, and we also find out here that the drug dealers are actual DEA agents. So while in Leon's apartment now, Matilda opens his case full of guns. He tells her that he's a hitman. She tries to make a deal that she'll work for him and like cook and clean and shit if he teaches her how to be a hitman as well.
I'll bring this up now because it was going to come up during charades anyway.
Yes.
What was it with the fascination in putting Natalie Portman as a young child into these sexually suggestive movies? Because this is the second young Natalie Portman movie we've done. And in this one, like, even like when she says like, oh, you're a cleaner, you know, like, oh, and he like, I'll work for you, I'll cook and I'll clean, you take them out. And he's like, come on. No, that's not how we do things. And then she goes, well, what would you want? Like, there's that air of like, he's going to want something else.
Well,
then later, this whole thing develops like this faux love affair, Harold and Maudish situation starts developing.
Yeah.
The writers chose to have her sing like a virgin to him in the bra and like fucking Vogue, the Pepsi commercial. There's a million fucking Madonna songs when this movie came out in 94, 95? What was it?
94.
94. Ton of Madonna songs that had been out that she could have sang. But you have this little girl singing like a virgin to a grown man.
I don't know.
You're absolutely right. Because there is that weird air in this movie. I mean, obviously the other movie we did too, but this one too. The other one was more obvious and like,
oh yeah,
in your face,
just out front with it. Yeah,
yeah. This one just had this weird air of like,
yeah.
I don't need a will they won't they with fucking a 50-year-old Leon and a 12-year-old Natalie Portman. I don't.
Yeah,
that shouldn't be. a thing.
Ross and Rachel worked so well because there wasn't a 30-year age difference. They were both 30.
The next morning, Leon tells Matilda she has to leave after breakfast. Like, he wants no part of this, but she asks to work with him again and for him to train her as a hitman because Bonnie and Clyde and Thelma and Louise were teams and they were the best. FYI,
those books.
FYI, neither one of them were the best. They all ended up, I don't know, dead.
Yeah. We have some fairly strong opinions about Thelma and Louise if you want to check out that roller coaster. Yeah, no, her...
Natalie Portman obviously didn't watch our review of Thelma and Louise. If she had, she would not have used them as an example here.
Not at all. And like you said, like Bonnie and Clyde were murdered. Thelma and Louise commit suicide.
Yes.
I don't think they were the best.
No.
I think your argument only works if your target audience is an illiterate Frenchman. And lucky for you, that's who it is.
Hell yes.
After saying here that he doesn't think she can kill because she's a little girl, she picks up one of his guns and willy-nilly just starts firing out the window like a fucking psycho. And so he decides that, okay, I guess I'm going to take her under my wing now. And this is when they go, and because they obviously have to move now because she just fired a gun out of his fucking window. So this is when they go and find a hotel to stay in.
Don't do that, it's not good for you.
Hi, 12-year-olds and up, I guess. Don't fire a weapon out the window? Like, I don't think that needs to be said, but just don't do that. Probably not the best idea to show that you have the wherewithal to fire a weapon and to kill somebody.
You were right.
This is a weird thing because he's just like, no, I'm not going to teach you. And you're thinking like, oh, because that's the right thing to do is to try and let her be, a normal 12-year-old kid. But he's like, no, I'm not going to teach you because I think you're too soft and you don't have the ability to kill. And then bang, bang, bang out the window. All right, you got it, kid. This fucking kid's got it. Let's go. Let's go.
This kid.
I just like, again, we're supposed to be invested at least in him as a father-daughter kind of thing. And like he says at the end, like you've given me a thirst for life and something to live for. Like he found his purpose, not in killing, but in her. Awesome. So you taught her to become a killer like you?
Yeah, I guess.
Like that's how is she going to function at the end when she goes to the girls' school? She is going to whack the first fucking... those nuns? They're sons of bitches, bro.
Believe me, I know.
They're going to be whacking her with rulers and slapping her upside the head with Bibles and all kinds of shit.
And that's the best case scenario.
Yeah. She is going to murder every nun at that school.
She's basically going to turn into Remy, but she's going to get in the clock tower and just start picking off nuns and priests and shit. Like, that's what's happening at that school at the end of this.
She's Remy, just not racist.
They leave here. They check into a hotel because obviously they couldn't stay at his place anymore after the fucking Lee Harvey Oswald stunt that she pulled at his apartment. They get into this hotel, and then Leon immediately goes back to Tony and asks him for a rifle so he can begin to teach Matilda. This is when the schooling starts, and, Leon takes Matilda up to the rooftop, teaches her how to shoot a government official with a paintball gun.
Corey's life lessons.
Hi, young hitmen in training. Uncle Corey here. Start smaller. That's it. Just start with anybody that doesn't have security detail around them that's gonna get you caught. Because here's the thing, Leon says, all right, don't take off the scope cover until you're ready to fire, because then you're going to have sunlight reflecting, people are going to see it, easy to spot you.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that security detail knows that too.
Yes.
They were able to tell where that shot came from, paintball or not. Stupid.
No, this whole thing, and it almost seems, which goes against Leon's character. It almost seems like they randomly chose, like it just so happened that this government official was jogging down the path in like Central Park or wherever the fuck he was.
Yeah, because she was looking over at the playground at first, and she's like, no women or children, right? And he said, right. Then she had to move her scope down and found the first dude she could find.
Yeah, and it just so happened to randomly be like a government official. Like that scene was a little weird to me. I'm like, it just seemed out of character for him because he's so careful and you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And he's like, yeah, the guy in the yellow tracksuit, give him a fucking shot in the gut. So we then get a montage of Leon teaching Matilda and her working out with him, cleaning his hotel room and his guns and yada yada. And then Leon goes back to Tony. And we find out here in this scene that Tony has been keeping all of Leon's money for all the hits that he's ever done. And Leon literally has like no money. He's a poor. And he asks Tony for some of his money, and Tony gives him $1,000.
Don't do that, it's not good for you.
Hi, everybody, hitmen, anybody working with the mob, or any sort of organized crime syndicate. When they say, hey, why don't you let me keep the money? Because, you know, you don't want to go to the bank because the bank gets knocked off all the time. You know what the bank has? Insurance. So if your money gets stolen, the money gets put back in your account. Like, that's what the insurance that the banks have. Well, they get knocked off. They try to rip you off. Hey, you can't read. The minute they're like, you can't read to fill out the paperwork, I'll be like, I'll hire a guy to read for me. Okay, pal? Just give me my fucking money. At $5,000 a head, I don't know how many freaking kills he's got on his little notch board there, but it's got to be quite a few. There's literally, I don't know, 15 heads from the beginning of this movie till now. That's a lot of money. And listen, as an Italian American, if you have an Italian American that's like, hey, I'm the guy, I run things around here, let me keep that money for you, be like, I'll find work elsewhere. We'll fucking start and end there.
You were right.
Again, if your target audience is an illiterate Frenchman, this is great. This is a great speech.
Oh, yes.
But again, that's not really everybody out there in the world. That just happens to be Tony's target audience. And he hit the jackpot once again like Matilda did.
So after Matilda tells Leon that she thinks she's falling in love with him here, he leaves to go do a job. While he's out, Matilda then tells the hotel attendant that Leon is not her father, it's her lover. Again, this goes back, because this is a very good movie. I love this movie. There's just some scenes that just don't need to be there and don't need to be written in. This is a fantastic movie if it's just like father-daughter type relationship. I'm teaching her to blah, 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 and she's going to be the best hitman. And yet that's all a great story. You know, that being the B plot, the A plot of, you know, the DEA agents trying to find her and blah, blah, blah is great. Like all of those storylines are great. This just doesn't need to be here. And they're quick 30-second throwaway scenes. Yes.
I look, I'm totally with you. It goes back to the charades of the whole thing for me.
Yeah.
You know, like he's doing like a pot handle or pot holder pig puppet to cheer you up, and it works after you know your family has just been murdered. And you're like, oh, thanks, man. I feel better. So much so that you're still sleeping with a potholder pig.
Yes.
Then you cut to the charades where you're singing like a virgin. And now you've developed all the way into telling people that Leon is your lover because you're having this fantasy life.
Yes.
What the fuck is going? That as a B plot
for real
is disgusting.
Yeah.
And honestly, it takes so much out of this movie for me because I'm like you. I love this movie. Yep. It's a fantastic movie. Obviously, Natalie Portman went fucking out of this fucking universe with her career after this.
Yeah.
Jean Reno, because I'm an American, had a great career after this.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody developed from here. And this movie has, iconic memes off of it, gifs off, like it still exists in the zeitgeist today. Very much so. But the whole weird sexual tension between the two of them.
Not for me.
I was not into it. I found myself like thinking about or looking at other things to do while those scenes were. I didn't care.
Yeah. Matilda then goes back to her old apartment here. She grabs a stuffed bunny, some cash that was hidden in the floorboards. And while she's there, Stansfield shows up with internal affairs, I'm assuming. Mm-hmm. And they're asking questions about the incident of the family getting killed. And Stansfield gets pissed. He storms off. Matilda then gets in a cab and follows him to the DEA office. And when Léon gets back from his job, they get kicked out of the hotel by the hotel attendant for obvious fucking reasons, and they find another place to stay. Léon then meets with Tony again, tells Tony about Matilda. He also asks that if he dies, Tony should give her all of the money that he's been saving. FYI, Jean Reno, he doesn't have any of your money. It's already gone.
Yeah, if I could add to that, Jean Reno, the situation really is, even if he had it, he's not giving it to her because he's not a bank. There's nothing you can sign that legally binds him to do. Yeah. Idiot. She doesn't know what you asked.
Yep.
She could walk in there and go, "Oh, Tony, I need my money." He's going to go, "What fucking, get out of here, kid. Fuck you."
Exactly. What, are you going to get a lawyer and sue him?
Exactly.
So while this is happening, Matilda then goes to the DEA office, gets in as a food delivery person. She follows Stansfield into the men's restroom, where she's trapped by him. She tells him that no one sent her. She's there because he killed her brother. And at this point, Stansfield finds out from Rastafari Brad that one of his other agents was killed by Léon after saying no women, no kids. So he tells Rasta Brad to take her to his office. And then we get Léon finding the note from Matilda that this is where she went. He gets into the DEA's office. How? I don't know, but he does. He gets in there, kills 2 agents, saves Matilda, and they bounce.
Now, Neo is the one and had a very difficult time getting into a federal building.
Yes.
And saving Morpheus. Jean Reno does it with 2 punches and a kill.
Is it possible this story is true? Yes, it is.
Nobody's letting this Frenchman into the fucking DEA building. I'm just throwing that out there. They're going to be like, "What's your business?" He'd be like, "I don't know. I came to deliver the food." And they're going to be like, "Get the fuck out of here, Frenchie."
Yeah. You smell like BO and sour milk and you're dressed like a bum. Get the fuck out of here.
I'm pretty sure you're wearing shoes and no socks. We then cut from here to Tony's place, where Stansfield barges in, demands to know who the hitman is who killed his agents, and then we get to Léon's apartment. Matilda goes to the store, and she gets back. She's grabbed by a ton of DEA agents. They proceed to breach Léon's apartment, and as they get inside, Léon kills the first few agents. Léon, you know what happened the first time she went to the store? Her whole family got murdered. Stop sending this bitch to the store. And every time listen, if the whole bad breath thing isn't going to stop you from drinking fuckloads of milk, the fact that every time she goes to the store to buy your ass milk, people get murdered. Stop it. Stop it. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
You go to the store.
Corey's life lessons.
I'm just going to throw this out there. Hi, Hitman. Uncle Corey here. In real life, don't just hang upside down in an open doorway. That's how you get killed because you have nowhere else to go. I don't care how cool it looks in a movie. This is a fucking movie. IRL, don't be doing that shit. Stay on your goddamn feet so you can move.
I will say this, with that PSA and that being said, this is a fucking dope scene.
Oh, it's the shit.
And honestly, this is why he's doing all those sit-ups. This is why you lift all them weights.
This is what you work all off season for. This is why you lift all them weights. This is why you do all that.
After he kills the first few agents, Stansfield literally calls here every cop in the tri-state area. Everyone! He then takes a hostage, gets Matilda, and they get back into the apartment. And Leon prepares for the cops' entry. He hacks his way into the wall in the kitchen, puts Matilda in, tells her to climb down. He stays behind as she climbs down, and the cops literally send what, a nuke into his apartment?
Yeah, and I gotta do it, man.
Corey's life lessons.
Hi, kids. Uncle Corey here. If you are being told to get out of the situation because the other person can get out of there easier on their own, go! Profess your love later when you're both alive. The time it takes her to get down that chute was literally the amount of time left for Jean Reno to make it out of that fucking building before he gets shot in the back.
Yes.
This bitch, much like fucking Rose in Titanic when she got off the lifeboat,
yep,
killed this motherfucker.
Yes.
Matilda, you sorry ass bitch.
You know what? For the great decision to walk by the apartment, she makes a horrible decision here.
Dude, every time. Do that. Save the speech for when you both have made it out of the thing.
Yes.
You clearly know how you feel about each other. Get the fuck into the wall and out the shit so I can deal with business in here. But
Absolutely.
Now I had to waste time with you. I turn around. I got no time to do a cool yell before they drop the missile in here. And then the whole plan goes to shit.
Yes.
Which his plan here is amazing.
Oh, it's awesome because they send in the nuke. They fucking blow up half the goddamn building. He dresses in the agent uniform that he had shot, puts the gas mask on. They think he's an injured agent. They escort him down the stairs. Matilda escapes into the boiler room here and out through the alley. And as he's getting medical attention, he takes off the gas mask. Stansfield notices Leon, clears everyone out. And as Leon leaves the building, Stansfield sneaks up behind him and shoots him. And as he's standing over Leon, Leon gives him the pin and says, "This is for Matilda." The grenade blows up. Boomala, boomala. So from the time the cops breach the apartment, he starts shooting people to the grenade exploding and blah, blah, blah. It's got to be what? 10, 15 minutes of nonstop action.
Oh, yeah, it hits.
And it's awesome. Like we talked about Expendables 2. We've talked about in some other action movies, like, holy shit, this is just a lot. This is a lot. It's well written. It's well shot. Like, everything about this 10 minutes or so is fucking awesome. And I'm there for every damn second of it.
Oh, yeah. And the most cinematic scene in the movie is here, too, where you are viewing his Jean Reno's POV as he's walking out the building. And you hear nothing. Because obviously, he's got to be damn near close to death after everything, that all the gunfire and the explosions. That motherfucker can't hear. So you don't hear shit. But you see the flash, the muzzle flash from Gary Oldman's gun walking right behind him. And then the camera starts to tilt and he starts to sway and tumble. That is such a beautiful scene. And I have never seen a scene shot like that before.
Yep.
I have never seen a scene shot like that since. And I'm not saying like, oh my God, that's it's just a really, really beautifully shot scene, especially for this type of movie. It is cinematic.
After this, we then cut to Tony and Matilda. Matilda goes there to meet with Tony. He tells her that he'll hold all Leon's money for her and gives her the same speech he gave Leon because she's 12. So when she asks him for a job as a cleaner, he loses his shit, gives her $100, and tells her to get the fuck out.
Here's what I would say to Tony. Hey, Tony, your face looks pretty fucked up. That's coincidental. The same day they found out where we were. How did that happen?
Yes.
You fucking rat. Give me my money. I don't fucking trust you. All his bullshit is so fucked up when his face looks like, dude, I don't care if you steal the money. You're a fucking rat.
Yeah.
I don't care if they're dirty cops or not. You literally told the cops where I was. And we were supposed to be at least office buddies.
Listen, from all the meetings we've seen between Tony and Leon in this movie, I brought you from nothing, and like you were basically just a kid, and you know I gave you this great job as a hitman, and you've made all the blah blah blah. Like they've been through a lot of shit together. Fine, you want to rat him out to the DEA? Cool, okay, yes, you ratted. That's not a fucking thing, especially for a fucking mafia guy. But you can't go, yeah, he's in a hotel. I don't know where he is, but you know, when I need him, he's there, and that's all I know.
Right.
But then you pick up the phone, or you send a carrier pigeon or whatever, like he's Ghost Dog. You send the pigeons out. Leon gets a little note, and he's like, "Oh shit, the DEA's coming." But at least you give him a heads up that this is happening.
You're right again.
No, but no heads up, no nothing. But
no,
the movie ends when Matilda goes back to her old school, asks for them to help her out. She tells them why, and the movie ends as she plants Leon's plant in the grass outside of the office, and she says that she thinks everything will be okay. We get the whole wide shot out, and then we're into credits.
And you do get a scene quick of the Mean Girls at the school going, "Who's that? I have no idea."
Yeah.
Corey's life lessons.
Hi, Mean Girls. Uncle Corey here. Don't be a mean girl to people because they could be Matilda, and she will fucking murder you in a second.
She
without
will murder
question.
Every one of you.
Yeah, this isn't going to be a hair pulling kind of fight. That bitch is going to kill you.
Yes, this isn't cafeteria pushing you on the ground, maybe getting hit with a tray. Like,
yeah, no. This is American History X kind of curb stomping she's going to be doing.
100%. It's either that or they're also included in her clock tower rage. Like that's
exactly.
It's one or the other. But either way, you're all dead.
Hell yes.
At the end of this, and aside from the air of pedophilia and whatever the fuck is going on with Matilda's character in the movie, aside from that, and again, it's a total of a minute out of a 2-hour movie. It's a great movie. If you remove that, it's a phenomenal movie.
Yes, 100% agree.
Like I
mean, I can't even add anything to it. It's just, it's a great movie. It's well paced, well written, everything. But again, the air of sexual tension between the two leads is the only thing that's even remotely just
You were right.
I'm not saying Natalie Portman should stop doing movies and take a stand. I'm not saying Jean Reno's a fucking pedophile and should open a Subway franchise. I'm simply saying that the writers made some really odd choices with that B or C plot that is Matilda and his relationship. And it was just not cool once you connect all those dots.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with that. But I mean, overall, like as far as holding up, as far as this movie, just as a movie, is better than a lot of action movies I've seen since.
Oh, yeah. Like if you are into a Hitman movie, if you're into a revenge kind of movie, if you like old Westerns, because that's, again, what this is.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. This is, Shane. This is the lone gunman coming in to save the kid whose family got murdered.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Same formula. You're updating it to modern standards.
Absolutely.
By 90s modern standards, apparently, when pedophilia was kind of in vogue.
Yes. Oh, well, I guess we'll end on that note. Do you have anything else?
No, thank God I wasn't an attractive kid.
On that note, for Corey, I'm Armando. This is Kiss the Reviews. And this was 1994's Léon, the Professional.